Hello everybody, this is Mario of Gotham, Season 4, Episode 4. So I'm just going to cut it in two parts, the main with the little. So I'm going to start with the little part first. Enigma's going crazy, he doesn't know what's going on, he doesn't know what to do, he doesn't know what to do. He's like, yeah, so he sends a beatboxer and a rapper to the Penguin. And they tell him a riddle, he's like, that's it? Enigma. He sent me this riddle. Really? And then Zaz's like, can I torture them? No, let him go. And then comes in Sophia. I'm like, whoo, hello, Sophia Falcone. She walks in and he's like, yeah, well, the thing is, I don't know if you're trying to get your old gang back because the couples feel, they hear that of Falcones and they want to come back and you might get in the mix. He's like, I was away for 14 years. I just wanted to come home. I believe you. He doesn't believe her. He's like, But she's playing him. Because that was good acting on her part. Next thing you know, they go to her house. What happens next? The capos, they did come. The captains, they came and they were like, come on, we want to rise again. We want to know if you're back. Alright, what's Falcone? And she told him that her dad's not coming back. And then the Penguin's right there is like, oh, hello. And she told them before he came in, you guys have to leave. So what happens next? Saz shot them all. Sophia was like, well, if my dad was in power, he would have been like, he would have used you as leverage and everyone would have been on your side just to see that you were the man. He's like, it's a new day, new methods. And then you see her go crying and then she's like, that smirk. I was like, oh yeah. Then after that, Jim goes that tells the day and then she tells Jim that I'm going to run this city. And then he gives into his lust. Yep, they knock boots. Now to the main story. Bruce goes to a guy to get the knife, a historian, to see what the markings on the handle of the knife mean. We all know that Ra's al Ghul wants this knife, so he's reading it, he translates it, and he's like, the demon said, this is very dangerous, go, and then boom. He knows the intruder comes, he tells Alex to run, that's his grandson, he's like, go hide, and then you see Ra's al Ghul's like, oh, you see this? This is a knockoff, a cheap imitation from the 5th century. He's like, you're lying to me. The best liar was a guy in Beijing or something, at a brothel. I was like, wow. He killed Alex's granddad, now he's on the run, because he's trying to save his life. And then Bruce, well now Jim, is there on the scene, you know, looking for clues and everything, and then Bruce comes in, he's like, yeah, I want him to look at my knife, because, come on, let me help, I think I know where to find him. And Jim is asking him questions like, where? And then he tells Jim that it was also aggressive by Barbara Gordon, well, Barbara, not Gordon, and he goes to Barbara, and then Jim is like, so, how you doing, Barbara? Enough with the chit-chat, what do you want? So, and then he asked him who's bankrolling her whole, you know, operation of the guns. He's like, even if I would tell you, I wouldn't tell you. And then Bruce comes in, what about Ra's al Ghul? She's like, should I get my lawyer? I'm like, wow, she knows. Of course she knows, because, you know, they've been, I guess they're acquaintances that like to kiss and do stuff. Then Jim is mad at Bruce, like, you're following me, what's wrong with you? If you're trying to play a detective. And then Bruce is like, come on, let me help you. I probably know where Alex is at. So he thinks, and then he remembers what they're having conversation, like, oh, he's at the library. Yep, he's there. Because next they go to the library. He opens up the thing. He's like, I was scared. He didn't know where to go. And then Ra's al Ghul has a dog man and some tall giant looking for the kid. Yeah, the guy can actually sniff out like a dog. He's like, they find him. They're in the library. They're wreaking havoc. And Jim and Bruce are fighting them. Yeah, the mad dog actually bit Alex. They run away. And then Jim throws a shelf at him. A shelf full of books. And he's knocked out. Next, you see Alex all, you know, all, like hurt, and then Bruce actually patches him up. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, talking, because he goes to the same school as Bruce. Well, Bruce doesn't go no more, I think. And he was like, yeah, I remember when your parents got killed and stuff. People were like, oh, he's just a lonely boy. He's kind of weird. I didn't think you're weird. I thought you were cool. Because what happened? He told him he thought it was cool too, because he just went in and fought. And he was scared, petrified of fear. And then he said, when my parents died in front of me, I was terrified. So fear is normal. It's okay. He's going to get him the knife. So now, Jim is back at the GCPD, and he tells his partner, because Willock's not right there, that, yeah, something happened right there, and they're We can't find him. And guess who comes in? Ra's al Ghul. He's like, hello, I'm the Ministry of Antiquities of Nanda Parbat. I was like, oh really? Smashing. It's a bloody lie. I was like, yeah, him, the minister of Antiquities. That's a very good one. Yeah, have you been playing Magic the Gathering? So, yeah, this is for the Highlanders. But I was like, wow, that was crazy. So he's talking to him, and he's talking about the knife, that he can't bid for it, no one can have claim of it. And then guess who comes? Alfred. Where's Jim Gordon? He's like, yeah, where's he at? And then he sees Ra's al Ghul. Bah! He gave him a left, or I think it was maybe a left. I was like, well, so wrong hand. Whoop, there you go. Overhand. Ah! It was crazy. And then guess what? He looked in the bag, and then Jim is like, oh crap, now he knows we don't have the knife. Because he was going to try to use that as leverage. So now they're at the museum. Alex gives him the knife, and he's like, make sure that man does not get this knife. Meaning Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, most people like to say. And guess who comes? Yeah, the Mad Dog and the Tall Giant. They're coming again, and they're fighting. This time, Bruce is getting beat, and he got bit this time by him. And then Jim comes in because he knows where he's at, because he got in an argument with Alfred, and Alfred was looking into his bag, and then he saw this jewelry box that looked very old, and it clicked the museum. So he saves him. He's fighting him, and then after that, Ra's al Ghul's right there. He has Alex. He has him right there, and I'm like, no! He's like, give me the knife, and he's like, I can't, because Alex even told him, don't give him the knife. He killed Alex. Yep, and then he kneels down and says, arrest me. I was like, wow, this mother... So he's arrested. Now they're back at GCPD, and Bruce can't take it because he's like, he died because he's going to Blackgate Prison. Ra's al Ghul, he's happy about it. He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh shoot. Wait, those were the moments I liked from this episode. Please comment and like and subscribe. Bye.